Hello everyone, I'm making this amateur video to show you how Open Broadcaster software works. I learned it very recently, but then I thought it is quite interesting given the situation we are in, the COVID-19 pandemic. So Open Broadcaster software gives you small, user-friendly and interesting features by which you don't need to own a studio, but then you could sit at your home. You just need the OBS software, webcam, and a little of your time to contribute so that you could make wonderful e-content with this software. So what we are basically going to do is that I'm going to go step by step in trying to teach you through this video how to access, how to capture videos, how to edit them, probably using another software. But then the most of the work will be done using Open Broadcaster software. We are going to look at the first step in trying to make an e-content video using Open Broadcaster software. In order to do that, you will have to visit this.com. You would also notice probably that I'm using the same OBS software in making this video as well. So you could visit this.com, you could open Google Chrome browser, type out the website address, and then it will prompt you. You could download your Windows version of the OBS software, or the Linux version of the OBS software, or the iOS version of the OBS software. We have the obsproject.com website in front of us. You could see the layout. It asks whether you want to download the Windows version of the software, Mac OS version of the software, or the Linux version of the software. Apart from that, you also need to keep one thing in mind. It does not matter whether you're tech savvy or not, but then just follow whatever I take you through. It is definitely going to ask if at all you're downloading the Windows version of the OBS software, that whether you want to download 64-bit version of the OBS software or 32-bit version of the OBS software. Now this is what you should need to do. You will have to find out what kind of operating system you have. In order to do that, you will have to go to the control panel, and this is how you will go to, right. So when you visit control panel, you will have to click on system and security. When system and security opens, you'll have to click on system, and there you have it. You will have the most basic of the informations that is required to do this. What is more important to us is that under the heading system, the third category called the system type. So my system is a 64-bit operating system. I suggest that all of you look at this. If you don't do this, the software may not install properly. So once you find out what kind of bit operating system your system is, then you could go ahead and then download the software, which is again a 64-bit version of the OBS website, and install the proper version of it. In the video you are watching, I'm not showing you how to download the software and the installation process, because I have already downloaded it, and then I'm also very sure that most of you would not have any problem in installing the software. But then there is a later glitch, a smaller glitch we would later find out, which I would be telling you about, and how to get help for it also. So we could, without much further delay, we could get into exploring the basic features that the Open Broadcaster software extends to us. Now, when you launch the software, this is not how it is definitely going to look. Like I told you before, I'm using the same software, OBS software, to teach you how to make e-content videos. You could observe that the screen has gone into an infinite loop mode. Hope you remember a few minutes back I told you that after installation, the OBS software could show proof of some minor glitches, right? And this is one of it. Actually, the infinite loop is not the glitch. If there is an infinite loop, it means that the OBS software is working fine. But this infinite loop should only occur when you have in the sources box right or down here has been enabled, right? So you could see that I have enabled two features in the sources box. One is display capture, and the other one is image. So this is the box which you would be using to add your sources. So you could see in the bottom of the sources box that there's a plus symbol. If you click on that, you could see various features that the OBS software could enable. And then in turn, you could make an e-content video out of it. So there are very significant features that can be enabled in order to make your e-content videos. So we could go from the top and then see look at the very the sources box down here is the most important feature of OBS software. If you click on the plus sign here, this is where you could see the various features you could use in order to make an e-content video, right? So I'm going to show you how an image could be added. When I click on image, you could see that it is getting enabled. Now I'm going to click on this up arrow. What I'm trying to do here is that I have enabled display capture on the top, right? Meaning display capture is given the priority, and that is why you are not looking at the image source which is right behind it, right? Virtually we are not able to see it, but then it is there. Now after clicking it, I'm going to click on the move up button. See, look at that. And that is how now the image has become prioritized, and that is why you're seeing the image right over here, and then you are not looking at the OBS software right now. So when you click on move down once again, the image vanishes, right? So you could see how user friendly uh, the sources boxes and the OBS software itself is.